Hello, hello, hello. We are so happy to have world-renowned professional organizer, Nikki Boyd with us today. This is Workspace Spark, and we are so excited to have her. She is the founder of At Home with Nikki and has been featured in various national media, including Yahoo and collaborations with Hobby Lobby and Real Simple Home. Her books are bestsellers. So as you can see, I know that you've gotten your box, and you've gotten her book, and we are so excited. She has Beautifully Organized at Home and the Beautifully Organized Home Planner. But the one we just couldn't wait for is Beautifully Organized at Work, which is perfect for all of us, whether working from home or in the office, creating a space that you love to work in. So we are so honored to have you here with our subscribers today. Welcome, Nikki.
Thank you. And I am so excited to be here. And I'm so excited that my book was in the box. I am really excited to get it into your subscribers' hands.
Yes, and I will say, I curate the products in the box, but our founder, when she got her hand on this book, she said, I don't care what you have to do. This book is going to be in our box. So happy.
Perfect combination. I love it.
Great. Well, first, can you tell us about how you started professionally organizing and what was your journey?
Sure. I was a military spouse for years. My husband's retired Air Force. And I really honed in over the past 20 years on organization, from him coming into the house and saying, hey, next month we are moving to England, or, whatever the case may be. And I really had to learn how to set up efficient systems, not only at home, but at work, because I have a very colorful work history, because I've always had to pick up and move my work and home at the same time and start new careers and all kinds of things. And so I've really learned skills in how to bring a joyful and peaceful environment, whether it's work or home. And so I turned that into a business. Back in 2017, I opened the doors to my professional organizing business. And actually 10 years ago, I started on YouTube. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So I grew up military as well. So I remember the days. That's why I hire movers now. It's so funny because people came in, and even though they would pack us up, my mom would have a system on how she wanted things. So that they arrived to our place the way that she wanted and label that she wanted. So I completely understand that. And it's funny because it's the way that I live now when I'm moving. Now I need this book to get more organized at work, but anytime I'm moving, that military background has definitely helped prepare me for the woman I am now.
Absolutely.
What a great pivot, though. I think that taking your passions is super, super important. And so a lot of the subscribers that we have work in passion careers. And so it's great to hear someone who has pivoted into that.
Absolutely.
So on page 15 of the book, you tell us about envisioning our ideal workspace. Why is that important?
Yeah, because oftentimes, we can't control the environment that we're put in, but we can control our little piece of that environment. And so for me, I've worked in some rough spots, some rough cubicles that, it just wasn't a happy environment. But, I always thought, okay, what is my dream situation as far as work? And then I took that cubicle and I made it my dream situation. And it really not only made work better for me, what it did was it inspired the people around me, because when they came in, and you could walk in and you see this one cubicle has this beautiful light coming out of it, because I had a lamp on my desk, just a simple lamp on my desk. And just having someone come in and have that comparison and have that feeling of that ambiance just really changed the whole entire work environment. And so one person really can do that. So envisioning what your dream workspace is, whether you're at home or whether you're in an office, is so important for curating that perfect workspace.
Yeah, I think that people talk about careers all the time, but up until recently, in the situation we're in now, I don't think people really took an understanding of why your workspace really matters to, like, your mental state, or frustrations of not being able to find things, So I think that we need to spend a little bit more time thinking about what that workspace should look like. Something as simple as a lamp, something that we don't even think about lighting, can change our mood, or at least improve the decorations of our area.
And because we have to think, we spend just as much, if not more time at work than we do at home, and so that's a big chunk of your life that you're in this environment. So you want this environment to be one that is just very kind of engaging, one that's inspiring, one that's motivating, so it's really important.
Yes. You also say something that is near and dear to our founder, and one of the reasons why Workspace Spark was created. She's always talking about making sure our workspace reflects our personality and needs. Can you share a little bit more about that? I know we're talking about ideal workspace, but why is it important that workspace reflects our personality and the needs that we have?
Especially with the needs for productivity. If you have a workspace that functions the way you function, then you're able to be more productive and you're able to have a happier work environment, because it's technically, it is your tool to get the things done that you need to get done. And we all work differently, we all think differently, and so whatever space we're working in, we want it to reflect what works for us. And so that's important to think out in your workspace, no matter where it is.
Yes, you're right. We're in the spaces a lot longer, sometimes than even at home. So making sure that workspace is super important. I think for me, getting this book helped me to look at where I'm working and is it functional? I don't think that I set things up functional the way that I have my workflow. So this has been really helpful for me as well.
Yeah, that's true. Because some of us are digital. We do things more, we love everything totally digital. Some of us, no, we like a little pen and paper in there, and so, it may be the point of, okay, I'm going to map out my day on a piece of paper, and someone may want to map it digitally, but whatever your desired kind of workspace is what you should really go for.
Yes. So let's now talk about the desk.
Sure.
It gets cluttered with sticky notes and papers. You mentioned paper earlier. That sounds like it's my desk. What are your suggestions for organizations?
So one thing with sticky notes, that's a big problem for a lot of folks. And one thing that I tell them is, they have all these cute little journals and that you can find inexpensively everywhere. And I like to use these not only as my mouse pad, because it looks beautiful sitting on the desk. It functions great for a mouse pad, but it also functions great to stick your Post-it notes, your sticky notes on the inside. So you have that one source to go to. I find a lot of people, you have sticky notes on your computer and here and there and there. So when you go to try to find the information, you're still going on a hunt, even at your desk. But if you have all of them consolidated in this front of this one mouse pad / book, when you need to reference anything, you just open it, you can reference it. Not everyone is seeing all of your stuff. And it's just a great way to keep things from, visual clutter, but then also be able to reference it easily,
So I have sticky notes on my laptop right now. But one thing, that gratitude journal we had in our box in November. So
really? I love it. This is the first thing that I do every day when I sit at my desk. When I come to the desk, I grab this and I write the 3 things that I'm grateful for. I love it.
So this is divine. That's exactly what we had in our box in November. But what a great tip. I am going to do that because I know my dad used to say a cluttered desk is a cluttered mind. And I try really hard, but I do work well with sticky notes. And so thinking about putting that in a book on my desk is amazing. I'm definitely going to work on that as well.
Yeah. Even if you leave the end of the day and you put them away, because when you come in, you want your desk to welcome you in a clean, fresh, it's a new day, and it should represent a new day. I even believe in inbox covers. I basically go to the computer and I'll say, "Good morning, Nikki," and print it out and however cute and laminate it. And that's what goes on top of my inbox. So when I come in, I'm not coming into looking at a bunch of paperwork in the inbox. I'm coming in and I'm welcoming, I'm saying good morning to myself and just giving that little bit of positivity at the start of my day. And then it just really conceals it. If anyone comes into your office, they're not looking directly into your inbox. And it's just, I call it an inbox cover.
I love that. I'm going to go buy a bunch of stuff and try to get it together today. No, I really believe that. Sometimes I walked into the office today, my stuff was everywhere, but you're right. Welcoming a clean space puts me in a different headspace for me to get started for the day.
You can think.
And okay, so we've gotten the Post-its together. We have the inbox cover. What do you suggest we do to maintain? So as we get it together, what's a routine we can do to maintain it?
I would take 5 minutes before you leave every day, and it's a part of your workday. The last 5 minutes is resetting your desk, getting it ready for your next workday. And that means just when you walk in, how do you want to look at your desk? That's huge for me. That is really huge, because during the day you're working and things are going to get crazy all over. And that's what happens. But just taking that 5 minutes can really be huge for your productivity the next day, you know, and having a system also where when you come in, you're mapping out your day. You know, you're taking 5 minutes at the beginning of your day, sitting at your desk and saying, okay, I'm looking at my schedule to see what appointments I'm having, and then I'm going to plug them into my schedule. Then I'm going to look at my to-do list and I'm going to shop the items that I want to get done today. And then that is your map for how you want to kind of go at your day. Yeah.
Right. I know. So making sure, so what I'm hearing also is putting that in your schedule, right? Like before I leave the office for the day, making sure that's part of my schedule to tidy up a little bit so that I can welcome me in a better light in the morning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, for many of us, especially now, we don't always have entire rooms for our office, but maybe a corner in the bedroom or, you know, the kitchen table. A lot of those places don't really provide us the zen that we need to get the work done. How can we make small spaces special for us to get things done?
One thing I always like to recommend to my clients that don't, and sometimes they don't have any space to work. Like it's like, I don't have any office at my home or anywhere that, you know, that I can work. I say create a beautiful mobile office. Beautiful tote, and that can be your gorgeous office, and you can just pretend like it's an actual office. Put all the elements that you would put into a typical office in that bag, you know, from your coffee cup to your pens, and you have your pen pouch, and then have your planner and all of the things that you need to work, and then go work on the back porch. Then go work in the kitchen table, and you have a mobile office that really, because the bag is set up so beautifully and has all of the elements that you need to function, you can have a new work office every day. It's kind of the best corner office in the world, you know. So, you know, just kind of having that really is a way to get around not having an office, but have everything that you need, you know. Another thing is the rolling carts. They have a lot of small rolling carts now that can be great to function as mobile desks, and you can roll it to the different rooms. You can have it sitting beside you at the kitchen table, or, you know, or sitting beside you at the sofa, and that can have all of your kind of work components in it. That's another way to do it also. But keep creating those mobile systems is what I would recommend. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love that. I didn't think about a tote. Definitely understand I'm rolling the little mobile thing, but definitely a tote. Didn't think about that for people who don't have the space, and just making sure you can carry everything around with you.
Yeah, and I do that myself. Even though I have an office at home, working from home can be challenging because, you know, you can get around, you're not around coworkers. It's very lonely at times. And so I find it helpful to have my mobile office so that I can, if it's a nice day, I go sit out back and work, or I go, you know, sit in a different area to give me a different environment, because I don't have that interaction with people as much. So even if you have an office, it's a great supplemental office to create.
Yes, I love that. I'm definitely taking that as well. I know our subscribers will like that as well. In the new normal of rolling out of bed and going downstairs, so we just talked about being isolated, right?
Yes.
Why is it important to have a morning routine where we get dressed, make our bed, meditate, and then go to work?
Because it's the start of your day. It's the very first thing that you're going to do in your day. And so you know how that is. The very first thing you do, the mood dictates kind of how your mood, the day dictates how your mood is going to be. So if you're waking up all crazy I always say, I'm not a fan of an alarm clock, because I feel like it's you're in this deep sleep and then bang, 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 you know, and I'm like, that is such a harsh way to wake up. And that's how I'm going to start my day. So I've transitioned to soft wake alarm clocks because it gradually wakes me up over time, like the sun rising. And it's so much more relaxing way. I'm not a morning person. I don't do well in the morning. So one tip that I do is I have cut out the amount of decisions that I have to make in the morning, because the less that you have to think about, the easier your routine is going to be. So for example, I have an everyday caddy that I have in my bathroom, and it only has one of everything that I literally touch, nothing more. The toothbrush, the toothpaste, the makeup, with the makeup, one lipstick, so that I can really be blindfolded and get ready. Also organizing my jewelry by color, so that when I come in, everything gold I know I want to wear something gold. I don't have to cipher through decision making of all my jewelry. So making breakfast ahead of time, making it the night before when you're cooking dinner, go ahead and prep your breakfast. Do overnight oats and put it in the fridge, or do a parfait. You can sit that in the fridge. And, and in the book, I have those recipes that you can make along with dinner the night before, put it in the fridge for the family, and you're good to go in the morning. Another decision you don't have to make. Because when you get to work, you have to make a lot of decisions. So if you can cut down that morning routine to make it seamless and smooth, it gives you a better start to your workday.
Wow, I never even thought about the less decisions. Like you hear that, I think Obama mentioned about wearing the same color. Mark Zuckerberg wearing the same thing so that they don't have to make so many decisions in the morning. I never thought about that in our workspaces. And in our morning schedule. I am a stickler for a morning schedule, because if I don't have one, then I am all over the place. I've learned about myself really early on. And I do think
you created a system that works for you to have a good start. I love that.
Yes, and especially the alarm clock. So you're right. I have an iPhone and they have a kind of a soft wave that has definitely changed. Also for my son, he is not a morning person. So I am, and the rest of the family is, and I don't know how that happened, but he has an alarm clock that it starts with a low light and starts getting brighter and brighter.
That's what I have. Yes.
Yes. And that has really been beneficial for him as well in the mornings.
Yes. And also, I share these tips in the book also, but having that forget-me-not basket that hooks onto your front door so that everyone can put anything that you don't want to forget as you walk out the door in the basket, such as your keys or permission slips for the kids. You can just dump it in that basket. And that way, when you go to put your hand on that handle, you can't forget because it's right there, So that's another thing that helps you not have to remember something, because you're naturally going to touch it. So just little things like that.
That's such a good tip. And it sounds so simple, right? Like putting a basket there, because I'm taping my kids' permission slips so we don't forget it. I'm definitely going to use a basket. That's such a great tip.
Yes. And especially if you're that mom that you leave the house before the kids, right, and you don't want them to forget things, putting it in that basket that hooks on the door, because they're just getting out the house. And if they're going to naturally touch it, it's going to remind them also.
Right. Great. So just a few more questions.
Sure.
What 3 mistakes do you believe people make when considering their workspace?
I think a lot of times we take for granted the importance of making it beautiful and making it an environment that welcomes us and that's actually relaxing. From your office supplies, you go into the office and have these standard staple supplies, the black stapler and those little things really affect your mood, because you think about your home. You wouldn't typically put those things in your home. You want your home to be beautiful and you want the pretty pictures on the wall. I love the pictures on your wall. They're so motivating and inspiring, having that lamp. Think about your 5 senses. I always in a space think about my 5 senses and how can I enhance that in my workspace? Okay, what can I do for taste? All right, I'm going to have teas in my drawer so that I can have a variety of teas, or I'm going to have a warmer on my desk. So because oftentimes when I'm working, I forget about my coffee and it gets cold, or so think about what can I implement to help with that. Sight, the lamp. So a touch, put a little Zen garden on, they have those Zen gardens on your desk, something that when you need that motivation throughout the day, you have something or there. So just using those 5 senses as a tool to implement different things in your work environment can be helpful.
Wow, I've never thought about the 5 senses.
Yeah.
Nikki, you got some great tips. I can't wait. I've never even thought about that. And we had a Zen garden in our box.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I feel like Workspace Spark is on the right track with our organization.
You guys are. You got it. You know what it's about. Yes.
Yeah. So I haven't thought about 5 senses. What a great way. And the aesthetics. You're right. We would not want things that looked boring in our homes, and it shouldn't be in our workplaces. And I think that we don't do a good job sometimes of making sure it's the pens that we like or the pencils and the notebooks that we like. So, we try really hard at Workspace Spark to make sure that we have functional things in our boxes. And again, our founder, she has a sense of style. We want to make sure that everything that we have, people can enjoy and love to look at.
Absolutely. And it's just as simple as this, just your pen, even if you shop your home and have a pretty silver cup or a glass cup, and then your pens, you put pretty gold and white, and just having that, it's amazing how that transforms your work area. A plant on your desk, bringing that life into your desk is important. Having that light in that plant. I thought those are the two essentials, I think, for a desk to me is that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was one of my questions. What was some of the essentials to have on your desk?
Yes. Oh, see, we're on the same page here. So, but that is one. I think having that life, that green life, some type of plant or flowers is so huge because that brings the outdoor in, and that always is a boost of motivation. Also, I highly recommend that lamp. Having that light brings that ambiance. It gives you extra task lighting. If you work in an office, and sometimes that the lighting they have is so harsh, and it can really be hard to work under that. Go to your employer and say, hey, can we change out those light bulbs to something that's a little softer? If you put a lamp on your desk also, if they don't change out the light bulbs, putting a lamp on your desk softens that effect, and it really helps you throughout the workday. So that's one thing. And then also setting up your desk so that you have categories. Like if you have a desk drawer, have one drawer that's set up, or even if you have one drawer, let's say you have one drawer, set up categories within that drawer. Have your tech category. This is where you keep all your chargers, anything tech related, recorders in that section. Have a section for your self-care, for your things that you need to grab, such as your hand creams and all the things that you need to kind of just get through the workday. Your Zoom kit. Your Zoom kit is that little bag that has a little comb and mirror and lipstick in it so that you can get ready before that Zoom call, and then also, having the tool section where you keep the stapler, the scissors, the Post-it notes, and all of that. It makes it easier when you're working to just maybe open a drawer and go exactly what you need. So
I love that. Categories in my drawer. Yes. I love that. The subscribers that receive the box this month with your book in it also get desk organizer. So we thought it would be a good idea to have people figure out how to better organize their drawers too, because that's something that we don't want to turn to a junk drawer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. We have people who may be interested in going into the field of organization. What would you suggest they do, or any advice for anyone who's listening who may want to get into the space?
Yes, absolutely. First I would think about kind of the field of organization is so broad. There's so many different types of organizers. And so think about kind of what is your skill set? What do you prefer to specialize in? And then it's just about going out there and getting your first client. And that can be your mom, your sister, just start doing the work and working so that you can create your kind of style and work through it that way. And that will help you build your portfolio also, because if you organize a space in your mom's home, take those pictures, have that, you want to have those photos so that you can really share that on social media and with your clients and things like that,
Awesome. So how can our audience connect with you?
Definitely through my, I'm on social media as At Home with Nikki on everything, and I spell my name Nikki, and my website is athomewithnikki.com. And so I also have two YouTube channels. I have At Work with Nikki, which I focus on all work-related content, and At Home with Nikki, where I focus on all home-related content. Yes. And I'm also on Amazon every Friday at 1 p.m. live, and I'm always sharing office accessories and different things like that. So 1 p.m. on Amazon Live.
Awesome. I knew about the YouTube channels. I did not know about Amazon. So
yes, this is fairly new. I've been doing it for a couple months now, but fairly new. Yeah.
That is so awesome. We'll make sure that in the comments below that our subscribers will have access to all those things. And don't forget, everyone, if you are not a subscriber, you're listening to us, make sure you purchase the book, Beautifully Organized at Work, on Amazon. Thank you so much, Nikki. We really appreciate you being here. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of engagement because I'm trying to interview you and not take notes, because there's a bunch of things that you said today that I need to start implementing right away.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really had a good time. This was great.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too.